How is everyone feeling about Donald Trump officially being under arrest? That guy from Home Alone 2. Wow, just goes to show, you really never can tell. I bet the lobby wasn't even down the hall to the left. I know you're kidding, but it's annoying to me because that's actually not where the lobby is in the plaza. Dunno why they couldn't just say to the right instead, which would be accurate, especially when Kevin even turns right in the movie source. I like Home Alone a bit too much. He probably was supposed to say it the right way, but he screwed it up, and we all know how great Trump is at admitting he's wrong. I'm the best at giving directions. You probably have never seen someone so tremendous at directions like me. Great directions, I gave the best directions. I gave the best directions ever, and it's on film. Home Alone 2, great film. Great film. The best maybe? I don't know. I don't know. People have come up to me and said it's better than The Godfather. The Godfather? I don't know, maybe. You know, people tell me that a lot, so I don't know. It probably is, you know? It probably is. Filming Home Alone 2, it was unbelievable. Tremendous. John Hughes came up to me and he was crying and he said, "Donald, I just don't think we can do this movie without you." He was crying. He was. It was so sad. So sad. He was crying and he begged me to save him. Save Home Alone 2. Could I? I don't know. I'm not a movie star, so I don't know. Maybe. I might, you know. I guess I'll have to just try. And it was just amazing. I said, John, I'll do it. I'll be in your Home Alone 2. That's what I said. But then I said, I'm not using those lousy directions they gave me in the script. I'm not doing it. I know the plaza. Great hotel. Great hotel. Great. And I know for a fact the lobby is down the hall and to the left. John was just blown away. Amazing. Amazing experience. Saving Home Alone 2. Best film maybe ever. Get that voice out of my head, you sorcerer. It really is upsetting that you can't turn his knuckle-dragging shitty voice off when reading these things. It's the exact polar opposite of Morgan Freeman's voice narration. Also, titty sprinkles. Rudy Giuliani is also like that. 2 decades ago, the man was a political titan who seemed destined to be president. Today, he drools on himself while fondling himself in front of reporters. The man has fallen so far, he needs to be held in an elderly care facility that has padded furniture so he doesn't hurt himself. Mental decline is very much a real thing, and also why we should have a mandatory retirement for all politicians and judges at something around 65, 70 years old. Isn't he from that Mac Miller song? No, he was that guy who feuded with Vince McMahon on the Woo-Wee that one time. The guy who sued the NFL for being a monopoly, won and only got $1. The guy that was denied a casino gaming license in Australia for being too cozy with mobsters. That guy, wasn't he that guy on Howard Stern who described dating in the 1990s as his personal Vietnam, having not been to actual Vietnam because of bone spurs? I think you're thinking of the guy who bragged about walking in on teen beauty pageant contestants while they were changing because when you own the pageant, you can sexually assault all the kids you want. Donald Trump, the airline magnate? The guy with his own university and line of stakes? A damn shame. That guy who raped that 13-year-old girl named Katie Johnson and then sent her family death threats, forcing them to go into hiding. Source 1, Source 2, Source 3, Source 3, Source 4, Source 5. Oh, snap. I remember that. And he was also making comments about Lindsay Lohan when she was like 14, talking about how she probably has freckles on her tits and how he likes troubled young girls. That shit was recorded and leaked. Fucking sicko. And yet nobody remembers, including me, until now. Media digs up so much shit on politicians from long ago, yet this sort of thing is never mentioned about this human garbage. Plenty of people were told about this stuff before 2016 ever happened and they ignored it. Now those same folks are worried about groomers. It's not even surprising anymore. It's just sad. I've been hurt before. Oh, come on, baby. We live in a country where rule of law matters and actions have consequences. Never again am I trusting my heart to Lady Justice. Lady Justice, signed and nard. These charges are very unlikely to hold any jail time, even if found guilty, since Trump is a first-time offender. The most important thing about this is that it sets a precedent that former presidents can be charged. First-time offender, it's insane that you're right about that. She's blind for a reason. Reality doesn't count, only who has more money to tip the scales in their favor. It's the businessman who would have more money if he didn't do any business with his daddy's inheritance money and just put it in the market and lived off that. He has made less than interest. That's this guy. Great. Now let's start going after all politicians and other government officials. Wait until he actually faces any consequences before scaring our elected officials. Otherwise, they'll do everything they can to prevent it. Well, this is actually why the Trump thing is pretty much unprecedented. Historically, they have rarely gone after each other for anything because if we really wanted to, we could put most all of them in prison for one thing or another. Annoyed Donald Trump is back in the news. Honestly asking here, has there been a point in the last 8 years where he wasn't in the news? Edit. Soup dudes, I'm not saying he has been the headline for every outline every day. My point is I see an article focused around him or relating to him almost daily. I'm in Europe, so admittedly, I'm not sure how it's been in the US, but it's more that you could finally avoid him if you wanted to. He was banned from social media platforms, which drastically reduced clickbait articles about him. And aside from his role in the uprising at the White House, he wasn't a top story very often, and it felt like there were many consecutive weeks, if not months, where he was nothing more than an afterthought thrown into the odd piece here and there. It was nice for all the noise to go away, so we could start concentrating on the signal again. Edit. Apology, capital, not White House. Poor error on my part. I just wish more people understood that he's being charged of things that he did before he became president, for using campaign money as his own piggy bank, something politicians are frequently accused of, but rarely seem to be held accountable for. Of course, I don't expect anyone to change their opinion of the man or their potential vote. That ship has lukewarm sailed. Edit. We have better information now, and I was wrong. Per the indictments, the hush money payments continued through 2017. I thought all the stuff with Cohen's trial happened before then. Apparently covering up evidence of a crime as a business expense is frowned upon. The charge isn't for using campaign funds. The problem is, if you use money to pay for something for the benefit of your campaign, it has to be accounted for, and if it wasn't accounted for, that's a campaign finance violation. Let's wait and see what all the other charges are, but that specific charge likely won't lead to anything more than a fine. More specifically, it's falsifying the records by marking them incorrectly to hide them, and the charges were upgraded to felonies because they were falsified in order to hide or further another crime, presumably the campaign finance crime, which would likely be federal. I couldn't care less about this one. What I would like to see him get arrested for is the phone call he made to gay officials, telling them to find him votes. I'm with you here. He should be tried for all crimes, but I really wish they'd actually nail him for the really egregious ones. Hopefully these crimes will remove him from the category of no prior convictions when it comes to sentencing for the really egregious crime. They got Capone on tax charges, so that's kind of how I'm seeing this too. If it means he serves time behind bars for any length of time, it'll be a victory, as surely that'll mark the end of his political career. This case will set the precedent for holding him accountable for those crimes. Why do I have a feeling that his arteries will punish him before the law does? Trump has committed far more egregious and illegal acts, and paying off Stormy Daniels seems like such a minor offense. But when you consider the timing of the payoff and how close the election was, he very likely would have lost the election. If the news had come out at the time. So this stupid crime had a huge impact. I really hope this is just the first round of indictments. I'd love to see him serve some serious jail time for the gay phone call, as well as his incitement of the January 6th insurrection. The man is utter garbage, and his supporters are fools. It seems that the current main talking point in conservative media is if they are allowed to go after him, they're going to come after you next. Was I allowed to commit crimes freely before today? I sure hope they come after anyone breaking the law just the same. I thought it was over when he dissed John McCain, a man who epitomized bravery, heroism, and integrity. What I like is the counter-argument about Hunter Biden, whatevers. Like Brew, if he also is breaking the law, arrest him too, it guff. None of us have a cult-like relation to any politician the way these Trump supporters do. This opens the door for any former president to be prosecuted.
Oh, nice. Promise.
This opens the door for any former president to be prosecuted. Okay then, that was always allowed. Great, if there's enough evidence of them committing crimes, they should be prosecuted. Maybe it will send a message to future presidents to, not commit crimes. Amazing how people say this like it's a bad thing. It's the whole point of your fucking country that everyone is equal under the law. Everyone. They say it as a scare tactic, thinking that the way they're obsessed with Trump is the way everyone else is with ex-president. I saw one on Twitter who tried to use the argument, well, how would you react if Obama was arrested? It's because they are unprincipled. They don't understand that you wouldn't want special privileges for your preferred politician. I want to see Bush and Cheney tried in The Hague. Yes, please. Can actions please have consequences for everyone? Right. I don't care about Hunter Biden. Toss his ass in jail if he did something illegal too. You had plenty of time to try it. Throw every politician in jail for all I care. Probably make the country better overnight. Same thing happened with Epstein's Island. Marcus tried to argue, but Bill Clinton also visited the island, so he'd be investigated and possibly arrested too. And they were apparently shocked that the response was good. Fuck them both. Lock them both up. I don't give a fuck. I'm at a local bar where 99 days out of 100 TV is on Fox News. Today, it's on Fox News. Today, it's on Fan Jeopardy. The other days, it's usually just off. No one is watching. Time to find a new bar, my dude. Who the hell plays Fox News 24/7 at bars? People are there to get drunk, not listen to Muppets. I'd be annoyed as shit if they played Korn or Miss Nip 2. That's just weird as hell. Good. Now arrest other politicians who are doing illegal shit. Nobody's above the law. That's what we are told. Now it's time to prove it. Unless you are rich, famous, an athlete, hold a position of power, or know the right people. But other than that, no one is above the law. Yeah, the reality is there are people above the law. People with enough money to own the bogus legal system. Can't stand the guy, but it's embarrassing and pathetic that our governmental institutions let this get this far out of hand. The guardrails seem flimsy, but now it's obvious that they always were. It's imperative that we develop some sort of reforms to avoid this circus from ever happening again. Otherwise, it's just a matter of time before someone far worse gains the full might and power of the presidency. Yeah, the reality is there are people above the law. People with enough money to own the bogus legal system. I just want him to go away. Not die, just go the fuck away. No more interviews or rallies. No more MAGA incels and hillbillies. Just go the fuck away. And yet he's apparently raking in the egg because of this shit and apparently has some sort of speech planned for tonight. If the judge throws a gag order on him, he gets another charge for violating it less than 12 hours after his arraignment. I'll never stop laughing. That's the real popcorn munching event. This will probably age poorly. Since he's trashing the presiding judge on social media, it makes one wonder if Trump will get some sort of sanction for that. Contempt of court, often referred to simply as contempt, is the crime of being disobedient to or disrespectful toward a court of law and its officers in the form of behavior that opposes or defies the authority, justice, and dignity of the court. He's 100 doing things that count as contempt of court, and this judge has the right to toss him in jail for a few days, for it, or deny bail. His arrest is pretty meaningless. He'll either delay forever or plead out and pay some minor fine. I can't envision a world where, if he is imprisoned, he doesn't spend out his stay at a prison golf course and spend his nights posting on his truth account. Otisville, the prison he would probably end up at, even offers a system where inmates can spend a week outside of prison with their family. Tennis courts, television, vending machines, you name it. He's 76 and doesn't believe in exercise. It's shocking he made it past 60, much less another 2-4 years to see a trial. The ex-president pleading to 34 crimes is definitely not meaningless. It also seems unlikely the day will give him a plea deal. I mean, I may be crazy, but shouldn't we wait to hear what the charges are before deciding how he will be punished? I was told by these same apathy artists that he would never be charged, so maybe we should just let it play out. You don't know the 34 rules Trump broke. Bro, they're all over the internet. Just Google Trump Rule 34. This is pure evil. It's Reddit. You knew the answer before you even asked. Farming.karma. A former US president has been arrested. That is not meaningless. I hope the charges stick and that we never hear about this obese traffic cone again. He's not getting arrested. He turned himself in. It's an arraignment. No handcuffs, no mugshots, etc. The judge will read the charges. Trump will plead not guilty. A court date will be set, and he'll fly home. It's likely he won't even walk near a jail, much less go in one. In summary, lol, lame-o. I'm enjoying the tears of impotent rage from the fanboys. Always weird when people worship politicians. Especially when they demand evidence of his crimes from random redditors like it's some kind of gotcha. Apparently he can't be tried because he hasn't been convicted yet, is a defense of some kind in their minds.